Hello YouTube, this is Jacob Phillips again, and I wanted to step aside from, like, the gun walkthroughs and everything like that, and talk more about a serious manner that was actually a big effect on my life. And a lot of people do blogs on this and everything like that, but, I want to bring up the topic of bullying. Now, like I said, a lot of people talk about this on YouTube and other websites, but I want to talk about my experience and my opinion mainly. When I went to middle school, it was West Middle, because there's East and West in the city I lived in, and there I thought I was gonna make new friends and like just have fun and don't worry about anything except focusing on school, of course. But came along, I was so different, which is never a bad thing, but I was so different from all these other crowds. Let me just take my glasses off. Not a lot of people accepted me. Football players, like the jocks mainly. A lot of us kind of understand for that. But if you're past time, if you ever got bullied or not, like witness bullying, it was always like a head honcho football player or a guy that's more of a jock or sportsy, even girls. But there was three people that always bullied me. I'm not gonna give out their names. Now, that's immature of me to do. I'm not going to call anyone out. But they always, around the free period or lunchtime, they always dragged me into the bathroom and practically beat me. I come home mainly every day with a black eye or bruised up stomach, everything like that. And I know there's plenty more people out there that been through what I been through, but that's what always makes so much stronger is the fact that they have support and other people understand them, and I understand about the whole entire bullying process and what people went through. But more so on, I always got shoved into my locker, the classical stuff. Always got my notebook or schoolwork knocked out of my hands, and when I try to kneel down and pick it up, they end up pushing me and kicking me or like making fun of me. Now, the names they called me was mainly because of my just what I took for medication. Because when I was younger, I had terrible case of bipolar. I still have it. It's improving, of course, because over the years, but it was so bad at that time. I had to take all this medication, so they called me loopy or that silly little fuck. All that really harsh language and names. Um, as well from the fact that I was a diabetic and still am a diabetic. I was type 1. And they made fun of me for that. And they actually destroyed something called a pump. It's a little device that you hook up to your stomach, and it produces insulin for you and reads your number, your blood sugar, blood pressure, I should say. And they destroyed my first pump. They practically ripped it out of my stomach. And I wasn't rushed to the hospital, but the nurse called my mother, and I was taken there. Get my stomach checked out and everything like that, make sure there's no critical damage. But thankfully there wasn't, but just at that time, I didn't do anything about it. I was trying to be the bigger man and wanted to push it aside and just forget about it. Just don't focus on them. Don't focus on them, Jacob. But that's what made it worse. And the other fact is I didn't have no friends to have my back and support me. You know? Which really bites. It just sucks. So I was sort of a lone wolf in that situation. Until, when I was in 7th grade, they got a new principal in because I wasn't the only one getting bullied, and the first principal wasn't doing such a great job. This guy named Mr. Stoudemire, he was a great man. He changed around the school. I mean, he actually took the bullies out and put them like this separate type class. So like they had their own block to go to. And it made somewhat of a difference, but still, you know, like around lunch time or the free periods, it still popped up. So I went to him and told him I had been bullied ever since last year, and still now by the same exact kids. And he told me, you can give me their names, but you must know they are not going to stop. When he told me that, I was at first outraged with it. I was really upset. But then when I was thinking on later, I just finally realized, you know what, he's right. They're not going to stop. It's because of the fact that they're raised and just how they picture things in life and how they react to things. You got to understand a bully. So, not mind games, but you gotta understand them so they can stop. Because they figure out those little things that get you upset. And they feed on it. They feed on your anger. And you just gotta reject it. I got angry from the fact, well, when I was bipolar, I mean, that doesn't help at all. I got angry for the fact of the name calling and the harsh language, because back then I didn't swear at all. It was an all-Catholic family, and they were highly tolerant on swearing. So it's... After when I basically like, yeah, call me that. Do it. I don't care. Instantly. The bullies didn't stop, but they didn't call me names. Because they finally got it, like, this kid doesn't care, so we're just still going to pick on him, but we're not going to call him names. So that was the first step. The beating and the shoving in lockers, that happened for a little more, until my dad came to school one day. He's, sadly not in my life anymore, but, when he was, I appreciated him more than anything. He asked to see the 3 kids. The principal, Stoudemire, pulled them out of the classes, and he approached them. He didn't pull out a threat, of course, because that's the worst thing you can do. But he looked at them, and he said, "You're picking on my son. You are picking on a boy that wants no trouble at all. And I'll be damned that he cares about what you do to him. But I care. My question is to you 3, what did my son ever do to you?" 3 boys just stood there and couldn't reply because of the fact I didn't do anything to them. Then my dad just stared at them. He says, "You guys don't have an answer because he never did anything. So if you want to keep doing this, I'll be more anything gladly to report you to this school, because I'm an adult, and I'm pretty sure they'll believe an adult, and they're going to send your small little asses right out of here. That was the very first time my father ever cursed in front of me. Ass is not a very strong word, but it's still a curse word, and I was just so shocked, but relieved that he stood up for me like that. Of course, he was my father, but he rarely did anything like that for me. And I just think that every single day, even though I don't know where he is, I do not know where that man is, he's still gonna be my father nonetheless. And after that, that's when I realized bullying was a cause of the actual bully from mainly his parents, or he doesn't know how to express him or herself. It's a really hard subject for some people to understand, but many others do understand as well. So I'm telling all of you, not as my subscribers or viewers, anything like that, I'm telling you as a friend. I want him to be your best friend. That if you are getting bullied every day at school, and people are mocking and making fun of you, I know this is a casual sentence, but you gotta turn the right cheek. Get help sometimes. You gotta get help if it gets that concerning. You have to let other people know. As much as sometimes teachers don't really help, or the staff in general at a school, you still gotta understand you have plenty of people probably that love and care for you and will try to solve the situation. Like my father did. And just like the same exact thing with haters, you know, the whole entire thing. People neglect others for someone that they like. Don't care about them. They're just doing the same thing a bully does. They feed off of you. They feed off of you. And you just gotta stop feeding them. Make them go hungry. It's that simple. As much as it's really hard to do that, I'm generally telling you, if you have just said and done with them, they are going to go hungry, try to find a new target, but bound to be the people that you expect to be the weakest or the most like, you know what, we can pick on this kid easily. Sometimes like that, it's gonna bite them right back in the ass because they don't know that person. They're just judging him or her by their looks. Never judge a book by its colors. That's the worst thing you can do. You gotta read the book. You know? You gotta read the book. But that is what I really want to bring up. Just from recent events, there's a friend of mine came to me shedding in tears about getting bullied, and she couldn't take it anymore. I don't want to go to school. And I had to explain this to her, and she's feeling a bit better. But she realizes, you know what, that you're right. I'm not calling myself a smart ass. I'm not calling myself, Mr. Wise over here. But it's from my own opinion. And my history. So I just want to tell you all that, and thank you very much for listening. It means a lot. And I hope you have a really... hope you guys just hang in there. Push yourself. Reach your goal. Get the success that you want. Because I know all of you can do that. As much as you reject it, I know you can do that. You never give up hope if there's nothing to give up. You try harder. I pushed myself through so many things. It gave me that knowledge to tell all of you this. Because if I didn't push myself, this is 100% fact, I would not be here now recording this video. So I just want all of you to think about it. Comment below and tell me your opinion on everything I just said. I don't judge. Hopefully you don't judge. I want to hear your opinion. I would love to hear it. But I salute you to all and have a wonderful day.